everyone. I hope you like the new background, the new setting. I'm trying to still figure out where there's good lighting, where I can film. I think I kind of like this background actually. And welcome to the February wrap-up. This is where I wrap up my month, where I talk about the things that I did and things that I've liked. And since I do actually have a lot of stuff for this month, I'm just gonna get right into it. And we're gonna start with the books that I have read this month. The first book I read this month is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is the third and final book in the Infernal Devices series, which I have to say is definitely in my top 3 favorite book series of all time. This series is kind of like a side series to the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. And this takes place in like the late 1800s in England. There are shadow hunters and they kill demons. They're half angel and their purpose on earth is to kill demons. And so we follow some shadow hunters in England. I freaking love this series, and this book was such a great conclusion to the series too. And then next I read Broken Prince by Erin Watt. This is the second book to the Paper Princess series. This should not be in the young adult section. This was even more sexy than the last one. I don't really know how to explain this book. There's a huge premise. If you want to know the premise of this book series, go watch my January wrap-up. I explain the first book. I'm still actually really loving this series. It is just not for young adults. And then next I read The Princess Saves Herself in this one by Amanda Lovelace. And this is another very like feminist poetry book that came out this month actually. Just because I love Milk and Honey so much, this was kind of one of those poetry books that was recommended if you liked Milk and Honey. I love it. It was great. I will say I still like Milk and Honey better than this one, but this is just another great poetry book about female empowerment. It was a really quick read. I got through it within one sitting. I enjoyed it. Then I read We're Still Right, They're Still Wrong by James Carville. This is, as you can probably tell, a political book. I read another political book. This one has Donald Trump's face coming out of the butt of an elephant. I think you can understand what my views of Donald Trump are based off the cover of this book. This is basically the Democrats' case for 2016, trying to be like, hey, this is all the stuff the Republicans are doing and this is what the Democrats are doing. Here are all the facts and the graphics and the evidence to show that Democrats actually do good for the country while the Republicans not so much. And this was actually a very good read. I loved this book. It actually read very well and really fast. James Carville has this like sense of humor throughout the book as well. I don't know, I just really enjoyed this one for sure. And then I also read History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. If you remember, I met Adam Silvera last month and he signed this book for me, which is, you know, pretty dang cool. He wrote, I hope this book doesn't suck. And the book did not suck. I really did like it. In the beginning, I felt like it started off pretty slow, but then by the middle, you really get into it. And to be honest, the whole time reading the book, I had no idea how it was gonna end. I thought maybe it was gonna end a different way. This book follows a kid named Griffin, and he was in a relationship with Theo, and then Theo moved to California, so they broke up, and then Theo started dating this guy named Jackson in California, and then Theo dies. And trust me, that's literally like the first first chapter, so don't you worry, I'm not giving anything away. Griffin and Jackson forming this like friendship because they're both the only people that understand how they're grieving. So they turn to each other, which is weird because they're both like, I hate you, but you understand what I'm going through at the same time. And it kind of forms this really interesting friendship. But I also really liked the fact that it kept going back and forth between the present and the past. So you see Griffin's relationship with Theo interlocking itself with the present, where him and Jackson are getting close. And so by the end, everything just comes together and it's really great. It's really great. I liked this one a lot. Last but not least, I read the February book club book of the month. I was a little upset because Kara told us the book towards like the very end of February. So I was rushing to try and get it and then read it, but I read it, On the Road by Jack Kerouac. This is definitely considered a classic. It's from the 50s. I kind of enjoy the 50s style of writing. I was able to read it quickly. Granted, I was forcing myself to read it quickly because I wanted to read it by the end of February. I was surprised at how easy it was to read this quickly. So it follows this guy, Sal. He goes on, there's like 4 parts of the book, so he goes on 4 separate road trips, and they're all at like separate points in his life. And each time he's interacting with Dean Moriarty. I don't know, I feel like there's supposed to be like a message, or you know, you reflect on yourself and your life and it just makes you think, but I didn't get that feeling. I was just like, that was a cool story. Very interesting. Okay. But I don't think I really like learned anything about myself or felt like things in my mind changed, but I felt like that's what the book was trying to do, but it did not accomplish that. I did like it, however. I don't know. I don't think I liked it as much as I wanted to like it. Now we're gonna go on to the movies that I watched this month. And the first movie that I watched this month was Lego Batman. I freaking loved this movie. I loved the Lego movie when it came out. It was one of my favorites when it came out. It was absolutely hysterical. So I was laughing out loud in my seat. There were just so many really funny lines. You can probably tell by the title, it's like a Batman movie, but it's with Legos. The next couple of movies that I watched them all in one day, Valentine's Day, because I like to watch sad love movies on Valentine's Day because I'm single. It's About Time. I have to say, this isn't really like a sad love movie. I thought it was when I put it in, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, that's right. It's kind of like a happy one, but I did cry because there is a moment where you cry because someone dies. I'm not gonna ruin who dies, but someone dies. Tim, the main guy in the movie, he can travel through time, and he starts going back in time to try and change things, but the reason he goes back through time is to kind of change his love life. But then of course, constantly traveling through time affects the future and affects how things happen in the present. And then also on Valentine's Day, I watched Winter's Tale because I thought I would like this because I really love Jessica Brown Finlay. But also I've heard that this is a sad movie, so I was like, great, a sad love movie, just what I want to watch. And it was one I hadn't seen before. But I was disappointed. I didn't like it. It was definitely trying to be sad, and I just never cried. I was like, I get this is sad, but it's not sad enough for me to cry about it. I don't know, I just did not like this movie at all. I'm not sure if it was the acting or the writing or the directing. I don't know what it was, but I just did not like it. I honestly also wish I could explain the premise of the story, but I can't. I don't know, it's very fantastical, but also it is romantic, but I just didn't like it. Then also on Valentine's Day, I watched P.S. I Love You. Such a great, classic, sad romance movie. I mean, Gerard Butler, come on. How can you not be in love with Gerard Butler when you watch this movie? I don't even think I need to explain the premise of this movie because I think we all know it. It's great, and of course I cried watching it, as I do every time I watch it. Then I also watched The Fault in Our Stars on Valentine's Day to cry again, and I cried, as I always do when I watch Fault in Our Stars. This is based off the book by John Green, in case you haven't heard about that. It's just about this girl with cancer. She falls in love with this guy who had cancer. They have this really beautiful romance. It's just so beautiful. And the last movie that I watched this month was also on Valentine's Day. It was basically the only day I watched movies. And that was One Day. This is also another one of my favorite sad romance movies. It's got Jim Sturgis, Anne Hathaway, so already it's great. But it just follows these two one day every year throughout their like journey and life and stuff. It's so beautiful and so well done too. All right, now it's time for my favorite moments of this month. There were not many favorite moments because I didn't really do much this month, but there are 3. So number 1, I went to the movies to see Lego Batman with 2 of my friends, Naomi and Julissa. And then after the movie, we also went to a place called Mr. Coffee, and we had tea and we had crepes, and it was the most delicious thing I think I've ever had. It was, oh, I need to go back there. I've never been there before, so I really liked going to this new place and eating new things. It was just so delicious. And then the second moment is, again, involving Julissa and Naomi. About a week after Lego Batman, we filmed the Cards Against Humanity video. I will put a link to that at the end of this video and below. And it was just really fun playing a game with them, and again hanging out with them as well, because then afterwards we just hung out, we went to In-N-Out, we just kind of sat around and talked. It was a really great moment. And then my third favorite moment of this month was I was an extra on the show The Middle. I don't think the episode has aired yet. I honestly don't know when the episode will air, unfortunately. It was a really cool experience. I signed up with Central Casting, and this was my first gig with Central Casting and being a background actor for something. And I was really excited that it was for The Middle because I know my mom absolutely loves this show. And I've seen a couple episodes of it, and I do like it as well. I wish I had actually followed with every episode. It actually wasn't as boring as most people said it was gonna be. Yes, there is a lot of just sitting around, standing around, just waiting. What I liked about the not doing anything and the sitting around part was I actually did get to talk to the other extras that were there. It was kind of like I was making friends, and it was enjoyable. Now we're on to the final portion of this February wrap-up video, and that is my favorite things. I do have a lot of favorite things this month. The first being a beauty blender. Yeah, so this is a beauty blender. This just really helps put the liquid foundation on your face and blend it in, hence it's called the beauty blender. I always saw beauty gurus using this and I just never understood it, and then I got it and I worked it out, and I get why every beauty blogger uses these things. It's amazing. I love it. So one of my other favorite things this month was Gilmore Girls. I finally finished binge watching the entire series, and I love this show. Absolutely love this show, and I'm definitely team Logan. I am in love with Logan. I'm in love with Logan so much it hurts, because I know he's not a real human being, and I want him to be real, and I want him to be mine. It's basically all I watched this month. Another favorite thing is this candle. It is the Pear and Honeysuckle candle by Morgan Childs, but I got this at Ross. Ugh, it just smells so good. I think what I love best about this candle, not only does it smell amazing, but it also is just, it's a very subtle fruity scent. It's not like your sickly sweet fruity scents that can sometimes just give you a headache because they're too sweet. This is just, it's very subtle, but it's there. And it just smells really, really, really great. I can't ever stop smelling it. Every time it's near me, I just gotta smell it. Another favorite thing this month, it's this. It is Arbor Mist wine. I have been drinking a bunch of Arbor Mist wine this month. I have tried almost every single flavor. There's one I have not tried yet, and that is, I think it's called Exotic Fruits. I'm actually drinking this one right now, and this is the Peach Moscato. My favorite is definitely the Mango Strawberry. It's so flipping good. I don't even know if I'd consider this to be real wine. I mean, I know it's in the wine section, but it's this is not real wine. This is like candy. And then my last favorite thing of this month, I actually need my phone for it. It is an app. It is a free app. I love doing puzzles, but I never do them often just because they kind of take up space, and it usually takes a couple days to do a puzzle, depending on how big the puzzle is. But then once you're done with it, it's also just kind of what do you do with it? Because I don't ever want to take it apart, because I just spent all this time working on this puzzle. So I got this app. It's called Real Jigsaw, and it's just a bunch of puzzles that you can do, and you can also choose how many pieces you want the puzzle to be. It also times you, so it lets you know how long it takes for you to do a puzzle. It's really fun. I like this app a lot. And And that is the end of this wrap up. I'm really glad you came and watched this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you stick around. So subscribe, comment, like, watch all my other videos. If you want to watch January's wrap up video, just click over top of the lily mug right here, and then right over here in front of the cat you've got the Cards Against Humanity video that I did with Naomi and Julissa. And I will see you soon with a vlog. Bye guys!